Well, I hope everyone had a nice holiday weekend and hope you're able to spend some time with friends and family. Just wanted to give you a quick update on just the setup that we're seeing right now. We're currently steeped still in a strong quad 2 economic environment, which again is growth with accelerating inflation. There's nothing that suggests that that's going to change anytime soon. However, what I did do today is sell into some of the current strength only because we're seeing some shifting volatility segmentations. So this morning when I got up and did the math, we were expecting a high on the S&P 500 of 3743. We were expecting a high on the the Nasdaq of 12942, and here's what we got. So on the S&P 500, I said we expected 3743. We hit 3740. On the Nasdaq, we expected 12942. We hit 12930. And it's not so much the numbers in terms of the index price, but it's the index price in terms of what volatility is doing at the same time. So when we look at volatility, specifically speaking, what we would find for the S&P 500 on the VIX, we expected a low on the VIX of about 20 and a quarter. It did get down to 21.15, but then we started to see some reversal. It may not last, but anytime we get near the low end of the mathematical range for volatility, with the price hitting the high end of the mathematical range, all that means in the midst of our process is that it's a good idea to take a little bit off the top. Because the expectation is that volatility starts to ramp up. And if volatility ramps up, we'd probably see it go up into this neighborhood here, about 24, 25. And that would take the S&P 500 price and probably drop it somewhere about 1.5 to 2 percentage points, which of course gives us the opportunity to buy it back cheaper. Same thing's happening on the Nasdaq. If we look at Nasdaq volatility, symbol VXN, we had a low range of about 25. We hit 25.69. The high range is about 31. So if volatility ramps up, kind of like it has in the past, every time it's gotten down near these the low end of the range, then we'd expect the price of the Nasdaq to give us some pullback. How much? It's hard to say. The math this morning suggested that we could see a pullback in the Nasdaq of about 2.6%, which is better than what it's been over the last few days. It's actually been tightening up. Last week, that is. We had a low end possibility off anywhere between 3 and 4.5%. So that's good. That means that the range of mathematical movement is tightening. Typically when that's happening, that means that volatility is actually leaking out of that asset class. And the one thing that we know for sure is that money moves from assets that are experiencing an increasing degree of volatility to assets that are experiencing a decreasing level of volatility. So the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Russell 2000 are all still very bullish in trend. They're all still very bullish in trade, which just is a function of duration. Trend is 3 months or more. Trade is 3 weeks or less. We use those signals just to help us gross up or decrease our exposure depending upon what volatility is saying. So again, the index has kind of hit the top end of the mathematical range while volatility was hitting the low end of the mathematical range. That just, again, according to our process that we use and the discipline that we maintain is to take a little bit off the top. How much is a little bit? 25 basis points, 50 basis points, not a lot. One of the things that we did today for some of you who are listening who have very, very small accounts was to completely readjust the portfolio so that we could take advantage of some of the higher priced types of investment options that we want to buy. In other words, if you happen to have a very small account with us, say under $50,000, for example, there are instances where when I make a transaction of 25 or 50 basis points into that asset, that there might not be enough money in that account to buy just one share. So what I've had to do is kind of recalibrate how that smaller portfolio is able to be handled, and kind of recalibrate the exposure to the positions that we want, which in Quad 2 is a little bit easier to do. So we just use the strength today to make some of those adjustments, take some of the profits off the table, and sort of wait for this volatility ramp that we think could occur. Is it going to happen this week? I don't know. It's another shortened holiday trading week, which means that the market has a tendency to get bullied around a little bit. So it wouldn't surprise me to see another new all-time high tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me to see volatility kind of just play around in these low ends, and maybe tap that on the VIX 20, 21 range again, and then provide for a new trading week next week, which is, of course, a full heightened week, and then who knows what might happen. But again, the volatility measurements are suggesting we should see some increased volatility here in the near term, which we're going to take advantage of. If we see the markets sell off a little bit, we'll be putting all that capital back to work. And we didn't sell much, in the normal sized portfolios. As I said, we were taking 25, 50 basis points, which is a quarter or a half a percent off of a position, which our maximum long position is only 6% in an equity holding anyway. So it's not like we're getting crazy in positioning, either up or down. But like I said, I want to sell a little bit here so I can buy more on red. That's what we do. We don't chase. Sell some on green so we can buy more back on red, and it just continues to help us walk up that ladder of growth within this quad 2 segmentation. So that's it. Real quickly, if you have any questions, give me a call, 608-354-1977. Email chris@careformywealth.com. This will probably be the last video that I do for the year. I know that's incredibly terrible news, right? So if you do have questions coming into the remaining portion of this week and into the end of the year, by all means, let me know. Super thankful to work for you. Continue to move us forward in the best possible way, and we'll just keep working around this quad 2 environment, managing the volatility. Until then, I hope you have a beautiful day and a happy, healthy new year. God bless.